Welcome, welcome. We are live again here, and welcome back to the Impact in Action weekly live show. So, one of the top concerns or conversations that I get into with entrepreneurs all the time is about marketing, right? Like marketing comes up over and over and over again because it's wildly important, right? It is the way we get our message out to the world. It is the way we talk about who we are, what we do, and why it matters. Right? Marketing and the brand building that's attached to that marketing is key to everything we do. So I'm sure we are going to talk about marketing more than just this one time. We'll talk about it a couple of times in here, but I wanted to make sure that we took a minute to focus on the foundations because everything is built off of the core, the rock, the roots, the foundation. Because all of the tactics, all of the efforts that we do are layered on top of that foundation. So there is so much info out there that is focused on the next best trend, right? As the solution to bringing in your audience. And they can be useful. I'm not suggesting they aren't, but trends are only temporary tactics, right? They're not your entire marketing plan. So again, my name is Maryann Lombardi. I am the founder and CEO of Maryann Lombardi Coaching. I am also an author. Most importantly, I'm the single parent of a really cool teenager. I like cheese. I am a failure at gluten-free living, but I am still trying because everybody tells me it's good for me, and I get it. It is good for me, but it's hard, man. Like regular everyday bread is yummy. Now, all of this has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about, but it's important to me. So I also, from a coaching perspective, work with impact entrepreneurs. And really what I do is I help them clarify and simplify so they can take the bold action that is necessary to build a business that they love and to do it without all the noise, all of the distraction. So let's dig into marketing. When we focus on trends or the next best thing as the tactic for executing our marketing plan, that can be valuable, right? And it can accelerate our reach to our ideal community or customer, right? But when we focus on trends or that next best thing without it being connected to a broader plan, we may reach people, but they're not necessarily our ideal customer, right? Often there's a sense that more is better, but really more is only more, right? Just because you have a lot of people sort of in your world, in your community, doesn't mean that those people are going to buy, that those people are going to trust you. They may know you and they may like you enough to give you a follow or an email address, but trust is a whole different factor. And when it comes to customers that are going to buy from you, right, buy your product, buy your service, that trust is essential to them making that decision. So just because everyone else is doing that trend, that thing, doesn't necessarily mean you need to do it as well, right? Because your job is to stand out. Your job is to rise above the noise and to stand out to that ideal customer. And if you were just following the trends that other people are doing to make you fit in, right? You end up doing what everyone else is doing, and that doesn't help you stand out. What it does is keeps you fitting in. So remember, your marketing, you are trying to bring your community or your customer through this know, like, and trust process, right? They need to know who you are. That's the first part of it. They need to find you, know you, be able to see you. The next thing is that they need to like you, right? They need to want to see you again, right? Which is the part of that like process. They want to, when you pop up in their feed, be like, oh my God, I like that person. They have good content. They tell me something I want to know. It's helpful. Like I like their energy. I like what they talk about, right? You need them to like you. So need them to know you, need them to like you. But if you want them to buy, right, they need to trust you because they're not going to buy from you if they don't trust you. So as you're developing this know, like, and trust process, you have a marketing plan that helps you do that, right? And the first big core piece of that marketing plan is your product, right? What is your product? What is your product or service? Don't take it for granted. Know what it is, right? Really know what your product or service is, what it does. And most importantly, what problem does it solve? Right? It has to solve a problem. It has to do something, right? It should do something if it's in the market, right? We want it to solve some problem, do something, make something better or easier for your customer, your client. Also, what's the price point, right? That matters. Where does it fit into the market, right? There may be a lot of widgets out there, but what is it about your widget that is unique and special and something that a specific slice of the population really wants your widget instead of the, widget that's over there? So how is your widget different from other similar products, right? Like, and what makes it unique? That's really the key. What makes it unique? And that uniqueness doesn't have to be, something monumental, but it has to be something specific, something you can name, something you can talk about, and something that matters to somebody. So deeply understanding your product or service is essential to developing a comprehensive and effective marketing plan. The next part is people, right? Who is your audience? Who is your client? Who is that target that you're going toward, that you developed this product or this service for? Understanding who they are is key. And that's not just a demographic conversation. It's really about their wants, right? It's psychographic. What are their wants? What are their needs? What are their struggles? How do they want to feel, which is a big one, their hopes, their dreams, their fears. And how does your product fit into all that, right? How does it make their struggle easier, right? How does it either save them time if time is a struggle for them? If they are overwhelmed, how does it help them feel less overwhelmed? If they want to spend more time with their kids, how does this product or service help them do that? Also, where are they, right? Where do these customers of yours, these ideal clients, live, right? Physically and also online. Where do they exist? Where is their community? Where do they spend their time? So trends can have you bouncing around platforms that your ideal customer may not even be on, right? It can even have you doing things that turns them off for some reason if you don't know who those people are. So taking the time to figure out, step back, take a second, figure out who are your people is going to be key for you moving people beyond the know, like, and getting to the trust factor. The third piece of this marketing plan is all about promotions, right? And promotion is really what are the channels that you are using to get your message out. And social media obviously is a huge piece of that. And a lot of marketing is centered in talking about how we use social media because, again, it is enormous. But it is only one, right? Social media, there's also email, there's text. Text has become a bigger influencer these days when it comes to marketing and communication. Events are still very key, and especially whether it's virtual events or in person, and the in-person ones are starting up more and more. Obviously, advertising, which is paying, paid product placement and all that kind of stuff. Advertising is important. Podcasting is huge. So there's all of these channels that you can get your message out, that you can get your product in front of people. So not only knowing what those channels are, but then where your ideal client is spending their time in those channels is important. So, and when you're starting out, you can't do everything, right? You can't be on every single channel every single day all the time because you're only one human. And granted, when you make a gazillion and $52 and you can hire, more people, you could probably get yourself on more channels and do more of those things. But it isn't necessary when you start, right? It really isn't necessary. What's important is that you know your product, that you know your audience, where they are, what they want, their hopes, dreams, fears, and how your product solves their problem. And then you know where those people spend their time, right? Because maybe you are targeting Gen X women who are in corporate but are trying to start a side hustle, and your product or service can help them do that. They may not be spending their time on TikTok. You may find that LinkedIn and Facebook is the best place to be. And yes, you may want to start a podcast immediately and be on YouTube and, be everywhere all at once. But the reality is you can't be. But what you can do is you can be consistent on LinkedIn and Facebook, and you can be posting consistently, talking to them consistently, engaging with them consistently, and you will be amazed when you make that commitment to do that on those channels, how effective you can be, right? So you want to find channels that you are comfortable with and where your community and your community and your customers are. This again helps you be efficient and focused where you are putting your time and your effort in marketing. So again, the focus of your marketing plan starts with the product, knowing everything you can about that product and what the problem is it solves. your customer, where they are, the people, right? The people are key. That matters because the product has to go to a person, right? Somebody is consuming that product. And then third is what your promotion outlets are, right? So once you take into all of those things, you can have an effective effort in your marketing plan. And then you can look at see how trends help you do that, right? Then you can start paying attention to those trends. But make sure that you check in on your current efforts, right? See how clear you are about those three things. Step back a second and check in with yourself. Do you know how much you know about those three things before you hop on a trend or follow another account that's giving you the next best, IG reel tips, right? And there's a lot of them and they're great. They're great tips, but it's possible if all of that stuff is coming up in your feed, it may be a little bit of noise that is distracting you from focusing on the core. Because Lord knows if you want to learn how to do a reel, look it up, do it, it'll be fabulous. But you probably don't need to be following 15 accounts to help you do that. So maybe unfollow a couple of them and get back to understanding your product, your people, and the promotional channels that you can commit to regularly in order to reach your clients. All right. So let me know if this has been helpful in the comments, and also if there are any specific questions that you would have that you would like for me to cover in these lives, right? Again, we are going to be talking about all sorts of topics, right? But we will come back to marketing. So if there are things about marketing that you really want to dig into, that you really want to talk about, let me know, and we'll make it happen, right? Because I'm here to help you. So the more I know about what is causing you some stress, some struggle, and anything that you need, that's what I'm here for. So again, thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.